What's up, Spontastic dudes and dudettes? ToyShiz here, and I'm back yet again to give you guys another Retroshiz look back at the past. And today we are checking out the 2006 Spawn Evolutions, the 29th series. This is the Disciple, or James the Less, if you know your Spawn comic books. Of course, there are 12 of these little suckers running around, and then a 13th one known as Judas. And it's a really interesting figure, interesting character. Not a whole lot of him in the comics, but when he did show up, when they all kind of showed up, they really just handed Spawn his butt. No joke. Just, I mean, the first time destroyed him, second time destroyed him, but then it was all for a reason, because comics, baby. On the side of the box, you got this really nice artwork for the figure. I really like the design. Very Ghost Rider-ish. Kind of, sort of, very ethereal. But if you didn't know, yes, this is James the Less, the 12th disciple. Again, going in the biblical sense, but then applying it towards the Spawn mythos, 12 disciples of Christ. This is James the Less. There are 13 of them. Judas is one of them. Peter the Rock, yada yada. And like I said, in the comics, just absolutely. Spawn wrecked the first couple, but then he got his butt handed to him, and then he became just the ultimate wing Spawn, the Wings of Redemption Spawn. Remade all of reality with the mother comics. That's really all I got for you. Hey, it's a really cool looking toy. That's what I think we should all get out of this. On the back of the packaging, you get all the different figures. I have looked at Thamus, I've looked at the Man of Miracles, and now we're totally checking out the Disciple. Again, with the, let's say this particular wave, we all know Spawn figures, minimal articulation usually. Here's the bio if you want to go ahead and screen grab that. But These are largely more in the realm of statues. Very low articulation, especially for a Spawn figure. So sit back, relax, grab yourself a nice hot cup of heavenly necroplasm. This is the 29th series Spawn Evolutions, the Disciple figure by McFarlane Toys. Just to point out, since the Kickstarter of Spawn and yada yada, those figures have definitely been going up in price again. Everybody wants to get their hands on Spawn. It's kind of interesting. It's kind of cool. I'm glad that Spawn is back in the spotlight, more or less. But this is the Disciple figure all out of the packaging. And again, like I said, very much in the vein of Ghost Rider, an armored knight, medieval times, things like that. But just a very creepy looking design. The 12 on his face, right over the eye, it adds to that creepiness factor of this heavenly embodiment of, say, the Disciple, or if you wanted to go the Redeemer route. Really nice looking costume. I like the simplicity of it. Looks like he's wearing a heavenly water wetsuit, something like that. But it really is a nicely sculpted figure. Goes all the way around. I'll tell you this though, the fire on the back, on his head, not the best in achieving the fire effects. It works and it doesn't. I will say, I think it could have been just a little bit better to really push and emphasize the fact that he's on fire. You know, it works, like I said, and it doesn't. I really like the legs and the armor. I just love the texture of his suit. You know, it's like a wetsuit. He comes, the only accessory, he comes with a stand for his foot. It's a one-footed stand, as you can see. It looks like a Bigfoot footprint, basically, on the backside. 2006 McFarlane Toys. He does stand well on his own for the most part. When you start kind of moving him, he does kind of get kind of top-heavy, so this stand definitely does aid in just securing him. You put this on his foot, he's not going anywhere, and it does look good. It really works to stabilize him. You can kind of put him in like a Rocky setting or a battle pose. I mean, he's already kind of pre-posed anyways, but hey, it works for what you're going for. Really nice detail, the chainmail, the armor, the cross on the front. Just love the way the paint on the face looks. He's a great looking figure, but for those that are more interested in the articulation and such, again, very, very minimal. The head, the arms, the wrists, the legs, the waist. When you turn the waist, it kind of gets off kilter where the waist will stay put, but it twists a certain way. Yada, yada. So articulation fans, probably not for you. But I wanted to say thank you again to Todd McFarlane. We sat down this morning, had a really great interview, talked everything about Spawn, the Kickstarter, kind of went over the movie, purported movie, you know, the animation. Just really had a great conversation about toys. Very much appreciated, and I'll have that posted tomorrow. You can hear the entire interview, and it went really well, so I'm very excited for you guys to hear it. It answers a lot of questions that you may have had about the Kickstarter, so you might be more open to it coming soon. So in kind of pairing this guy up with the villains, I really like this shot. You got all the villains of Spawn. There's a couple more you can add here and there, but just kind of the ones we've gone over recently. These are like the main baddies. Malbolgia, he's off to the side. Don't worry about it. But he looks good. The Disciple works really well with the clown. You got the Marvel Legends Angela in there. You got Violator. Everybody that kind of is like the baddies for Spawn. When you kind of put them all together, they look great. And the Disciple is no different. In pairing him up with the new Mortal Kombat 11 Spawn, he's actually a little bit taller than this particular Spawn, even though he's in like that crouched hunch position, but he looks nice. And of course you got two flame heads going at it, and Ghost Rider, I swear, you know, it's very interesting just to see. I mean, it's coming off of one eye, his armor kind of looks like that armored up Ghost Rider, to be quite honest with you. And here's a couple other characters from this particular wave, which I have taken a look at previously. Man of Miracles, and of course the mighty Thamuz. He's a great action figure. And the Man of Miracles is very limited on the articulation, but a great figure as well. So really, that's going to do it. Kind of wrap it up for my look back at this particular Disciple figure, James the Less. Again, blink and you'll miss it sort of character, way back when, Spawn 150, but a very cool character nonetheless. If anything, it's the look of Spawn figures. Yes, the articulation is not going to be up to snuff for a lot of people, but for me and what I plan to do with it and display him and everything else, I really like this. It's another Spawn villain, another baddie, and I do like, it's kind of like a Batman's Rogues Gallery or Spider-Man Rogues. You know, you put them all together. You don't see that a lot with Spawn. A lot of times he just does away with his enemies. You don't see him again, except for, you know, when Thamus brings him back and plays with Spawn. You know, just read the comics. Anyways, I think that the fire on the figure could have been done just a little bit better. I would have loved to have seen some fire effects, maybe an accessory in the form of a giant flaming axe, something like that. But, I mean, this is from 2006, so coulda, woulda, shoulda, but didn't. But you still get a really nice looking figure at it. But I'm curious to know what you guys think about this character. Do you have him? Do you need to get him? Comment below. Let me know. Let's talk everything Spawn. I'm going to leave you guys with that. As always, drink some great coffee, eat some great food, but most importantly, remember, just be good to one another. Hope everyone is doing okay out there. Wash your hands. Just be well. And when you do, let me know what you found. I'll talk to you guys soon. Adios.